So today I'm going to be asking you about Kennedy's assassination and what you remember most about it.
Okay.
My first question is, how old were you during the assassination, and what were you doing in life at that time?
You know, Carter, I was 23 years old. I was a young mother. One child, about 2 years old, no, a year old. And I was sitting, actually, things were different back then in the fact that television wasn't such a big part of your life as it is now. We only had television sets for 5, 6, 7 years, so I was sitting there. Actually, the television was on in the background. You had the little child with me, and big news break: president has been shot. So it's a day that you always remember. It was very alarming. I just remember running out of the house, and the other people were coming out of the house, and did you have the TV on? Did you have the TV on? So it was a big change
Big
at
deal.
that time.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
So, what do you remember most about the assassination? What sticks out to you?
I think the most part, first of all, they weren't sure if he was dead or just injured. So everybody was glued to the television until they actually came back. And then, of course, the people that doubted the actual report, is he really alive? And he's yet, his brain is dead. So they're saying he's dead. There were a lot of disbelievers.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And what were you thinking while you watched it on TV and while you read about it?
It seemed to be a really disturbing time in your life. It was just kind of like a black day, a really dark day. I can remember, you kind of went to church and said a prayer because it was like, what's going to happen next? Mm-hmm. Is this the beginning of something? Is there more to it? Is it, it wasn't an isolated incident or...
So you couldn't really believe what happened?
No,
really?
You really could not. Mm-hmm. No. And then,
of
course, it evolved after that. Then more stuff started coming. You just didn't leave the television set after that. Then, the one guy came after they identified who they thought shot him, and then he got shot, and then it just, kept rolling.
It was all very surprising.
It was.
And did it affect your life, really, or did your life just continue on as usual?
I think it was the beginning of some fear that probably brought reality because, when you're 23, I don't know if you're that interested in world events. You just think everything's going to perk along, your life's going to be good, and all of a sudden there's something that doesn't seem like it's maybe going to happen that way. And so there were just a series of historical events after that, and then the Martin Luther King assassination, just everything that followed there just seemed like it was leading up to something bigger. So yeah, it was a real negative time.
And finally, did you ever think that there was a conspiracy behind it?
I think most people thought that one man couldn't have done all that by himself. Of course, I guess that's why they had the Warren Commission that looked into it, for years and years. I don't know that, but yeah, at the time, I think the people were really confused about it. Who were these people? Were there certain nationalities that were behind this and just sent somebody in to do this? Was it a much bigger thing than it appeared to be?
And it was directly after the Cuban Missile Crisis, so
yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I think that, and it was a big topic of conversation among people when they got together. So yes, it really was obviously a big event, and it changed things. It made you grow up just a little bit quicker, maybe, or maybe it got you off of your mundane, life.
Do you know if there was any more precautions that were taken after this happened?
I don't recall any. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there was a fear that the next President Johnson was going to, face the same thing or anything that I remember. So I don't remember any, but maybe there were some that I don't know of.
Well, thank you for talking.
Thank you.
It's nice to interview you.
Thank you, Kurt.